Good evening, Aquarius, and welcome. We are doing your reading for the month of July. This is the Feminine Inquisition. My name is Tiffany. So, a few dates to go over. I'm just going to get right to it. We have the 3rd, no, on the 30th of June, the biggest event is Jupiter moving into Leo. Okay, so that is your opposite sign. So you might feel this in full force because it is opposing anything that you have in Aquarius. Mercury will be moving into Leo on the 3rd. On the 6th, the Sun will move into Cancer. On the 11th, Venus will move into Virgo, which is the 9 of Pentacles. On the 13th, Mars will move into Libra. On the 23rd, the Sun into Leo. On the 28th, Mercury into Virgo. But the main conversation today here in this reading is about manifestation. So we're going to use the karma cards because it's separated into signs, houses, and planets. And it also has, I'll just flip this over so you can see inherent in it, separation between what is subconscious or conscious. Blue is conscious, red, but they're all mixed here. And each line is spiritual, mental, or physical, and that's the same on both ends. So we will just get on into it. This is for any Aquarius placements that speak to you or any Aquarius people that you want to check up on, okay? We're going to go and use these karma cards as guidance for how to receive the messages. Can you please show me for Aquarius what's going on for July? What do they need to know right now? Really? 3 cards? Come on. Come on. The 7th house, diplomatically, relationships, a fair deal. Virgo, methods for healing power of, the analyzing of, and resulting from the perfectionism of. And the 3rd house, your ideas, short-term thinking, trips, or the who and what is around you. So let's talk this through. 2 houses with a sign in between. The 7th house, which is Libra's home, it's the house of the other, right? So thinking about how we are relating to someone, incorporating them in our life, having empathy, compassion, understanding, valued trust, and intimacy. With Virgo in between, well, that's quite difficult. A little bit of a rub there. Virgo is I'll read what it says. The conscious section is what we have, and it's spiritually the methods for healing power of, mentally the analyzing of, and physical resulting from the perfectionism of. So in the 7th house, how can you manage how to heal without having too much of an emphasis on over analyzing the situation and or placing perfectionism on people, on circumstances, remembering to get a fair deal. Now, the 3rd house, being the 3rd card, is about communication. And with Mercury going into retrograde, that should be interesting. So, spiritually, your ideas, mentally, the short-term thinking, and physically, who or what is around you. So it looks like you're going to have questions about how to communicate to those that are in relationship with you and how to be diplomatic and avoid perfection when it comes to analysis about who and what is around you. All right, I have Mars here with the subconscious. We'll see if that is part of the greater message. Let's get into it. Aquarius, for July, Spirit, please, calling Aquarius energy right here, right now. One more shuffle. Show me what it is that they need to know. Well, I guess you just want to throw a bunch of cards out for me. That's what you want to do. I'm going to put them back in. I got the Queen of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. So Trying to invest in yourself, create boundaries, borders of respect, of integrity, taking your power back. There's something that's not exactly satisfying, and so it could be um, isolation that you've put on yourself as you've been going through a process, or it's the engagement of exchanging with another, and yeah, you just don't want to. The Queen of Pentacles here, looking at all of this, she's got her eyes on the Ace of Cups. So there's a renewal, there's a cleansing, there's a purifying. It's a solo cup for her because this process here is um, solo cards, and especially here, this is disassociation, this is disintegration, this is dissolution. So I'm gonna put it back in. You're definitely maybe, you're probably most likely going through healing of words that could have been exchanged in a friendship, in a connection. But we'll try it again. Again, just trying to play with me here. For Aquarius, please. The Page of Swords, the Hanged Man, there it is. You saw how I put it back in. The Ace of Cups to the Four of Cups. That's interesting that the Four of Cups would come after the Ace of Cups, because this is the Ace of Cups. And so even though it's here, you still can't see it. One more. The Star. There you are. That's you. Moon in Libra at the bottom of the deck. Crossroads, decision as it relates to the other, the relationships that you are dealing with, or one relationship in particular. Page of Swords. There's not a whole lot of mastery here in this position, but there is some ideas that are brewing. Now, with the Hanged Man afterwards, it's like a little bit went a long way. There was something that was exchanged, or something that was witnessed, something that was read, something that was sent out in communication, and then it created a shock, a pause, a deliberate halt of some sort. There is no connection, there is no contact, there is just this back to the disintegration, dissolution, because that's Saturn in Pisces. This is Pisces. This is about letting things just completely dissolve until you get a better handle on what it is, right? Just let it fall, and like kind of sifting flour. What needs to remain will remain. Okay, so that's the purification process that you're after. I'm with it. And the Hangman, as much as it's a Pisces card, and Pisces is, of course, a water sign, we don't often look at the Hanged Man in its many illustrations and see water. Here, he's on a boat, ship, etc. So it's nice to have water side by side here because it's a cleansing. You're cleansing the confusion. This shock, paralysis is because you need to process information and see things from a different perspective. And when you do, you recognize, as this card often in this deck states, no mud, no lotus, right? Okay. Four of Cups thereafter. Somehow, some way, even with the tree and things blooming around her and more water, this image is still ruminating, still stuck, followed by the Nine of Swords. It escalates. The energy rises to the mind, and this is a mismanagement of the mind, the stress just staying in the brain. You can't think your way out of this. Back to water. The Star. Healing. Dipping the toe in. Recognizing the connection, the long-term vision for what this life could be. Interesting to go from the Page of Swords all the way to the Star with a mixed bag in between, right? The Moon in Cancer. Jupiter in Gemini. Right. Okay. Well, this is the third house, so your ideas are all over the place, right? As it relates to here. Your short-term thinking and or trips, the who and what is around you, it's a mess, is what it is. Um, you have got no earth here, so the Virgo aspects of healing and analysis, it's not yet present. But the relationship factor is definitely here. You care a lot. I don't know what about, but you care a lot. Let's get to the beginning, the Page of Swords, right? So this stems from something that transpired, something that was communicated. Show me the Page of Swords. What was learned, what was watched, what was listened to, what was received. What's this Page of Swords, please? For Aquarius for July. The Ace of Cups. The Star. Wow. Super interesting. Am I looking at a fear of belonging? Someone wants to see you for who you really are. Someone wants to love you completely, and you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to be seen. You're scared. Can I have one more? Page of Swords for Aquarius, please. The Knight of Swords. They're upright. They're upright. Yeah, so Knight of Swords in reverse. You can't you can't at the best of times you can't see the full picture. But this is like you don't have your glasses on and it's a mile away. So I don't know what that's about, but you don't have a plan. You don't have the words. And you don't have a direction. Wow. What could you have possibly felt from this Ace of Cups? Why could a sensation of being seen, of being loved, of being held, of being nurtured drive you to the point where you want to just go under a rock? Show me the Hanged Man, please. Did you learn? I think no. I think this is a process that you're delaying. There's the Five of Wands, the internal conflict. What are you conflicted about? King of Cups. Wow, you want to be stoic. You don't want to show your emotions. Seven of Cups. And that's because if you open that door, you don't trust yourself. You know, you're sitting as King of Cups, but it's a false premise. So if you had achieved the emotional intelligence of the development that the Seven of Cups grants all of us once we go through that process, then you would know which is the ace that you can drink from. That is the nature of the lesson of the Seven of Cups. And that is how you elevate to the King of Cups. There is no higher place to be. He holds the ace. But the conflict is that you haven't completed this yet. But you're out here as the Page of Swords, entertaining and exchanging words, gifts, experiences. And you want to be, if you notice, it's cold where she is. Super cold. And the cup comes by, and you have no idea what to do with it. You can't make a move on it. Not you, emotionally strong, stable King of Cups. Right on. Let's see what the Four of Cups is then. It's going to go in this order, I guess. Telling me bit by bit. Aquarius. What's the Four of Cups? What's the upset? What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? Five of Swords. There's Venus in Aquarius. So this is about self-worth. Maybe you feel you don't have the financial resources to attach yourself to this lover's union. Maybe you feel as though the environment is not supportive of you coming together with this person. Maybe there's a difference in the culture, in the heritage, in the race. Maybe family gets in the way. Maybe there's some connection between them and a family member or them and a friend, and so it's too close to home, but the connection is strong and it drives you wild. You cannot get this out of your mind. The Five of Swords is really messing with you, and it's pride and it's ego in the worst way. It's ego in the way that Virgo would experience an ego problem, the perfectionism, wanting to wanting to be in an exchange where the person says exactly what it is that you want to hear, right? That they bring you the exact gift, that they take you to the exact hotel, that you go to the exact restaurant. This perfectionism, and it's not that you are not. When and if this kind of Virgo tendency or this kind of disposition comes through, you might not even acknowledge it that you are being perfectionist. It's just that there's a sense of attachment to an outcome, attachment to a style, to a way, to a gender norm, to the way that the things that you deserve, or how something should be, should do, and that when it comes with Virgo, it also has the extremes. Not that this is Virgo, but Virgo over here, it has the extremes of thinking that maybe you don't deserve it, but it's there. The message of the Ace of Cups from the page or to you, and you are receiving it as the page, is crystal clear. It's 2 times. You can let a cat in, but the cat has no idea what they want. And maybe that is part of this message. You started something with someone thinking it was what you wanted, but now it's not. Or maybe vice versa. If that doesn't fit you, then switch it around for the other role. I have to open the door for her. I do think that this has to do with value of things, value of, yeah, because it's a Venus card, but the value of things, and this is a Virgo card. So the value of contribution, because they are working in equal parts, they also have to know their role, right? There's an architect, there's a lord, and then there is the worker. This is the past. There you are again. I'm not sure what the fire to the past means yet. Let's go to the Nine of Swords. Let's get to your mental disturbance. Right? So annoying. So annoying. Just come in for a few bites and then out they go. Right. Okay. So let's go to the Nine of Swords, okay? As I'm shuffling, the Ten of Swords are here. What's the disturbance here? And so this will refer back to the other swords that we have here. I don't know if you have an issue at the moment with being fair. I don't know if you're trying to take retribution and revenge because you felt that something once said wasn't fair. How do I know that this particular person that came with this particular cup is experiencing an issue with you that relates to the relationship you have with them, or if you're referring back to a previous time? Because Five of Swords is always the patterns of distortions. They often refer back to a crippled time and place, an unhealed space. It's operating from the shadows. Show me the Nine of Swords, please. For Aquarius, can I please see the Nine of Swords for July? The Sun to the Six of Pentacles. Like I just said, You wanted to find balance. You want something to be fair. And I don't know if the sun is you trying to be bold, bright, for you to shine the light, for you to stand as a teacher, for you to, I'm going to show them, right? Is it vengeance? Is that you want to burn them with this information? Do you want so desperately to come out on top? Because previously the Five of Swords was with the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom. Here we have the Sun with the Six of Pentacles. So what's the between the 10 and the 6 is the Four of Pentacles, a holding pattern. Here the Page of Swords is talking about this again. So let's say if it refers back to the page, the Sun, something was shown to you about reciprocity, about balance, but you still don't know how to take action. Here you are, the identity. Let me just see something here. Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Queen of Swords. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Page of Cups and Justice. Well, that's just too much. That's too many swords of truth here. Too much about balance, too much about forgiveness, too much about teaching a lesson. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how many people are involved in this story. I don't know which side of the line you stand on. If you were wronged and you're seeking vengeance. If you were wronged previously and you'll be damned if anyone is not on a balanced system with you. Or someone is teaching you a lesson about what it means to be full of reciprocity and connection. And there's remorse now that you're realizing it. The Hanged Man has this fresh perspective that there was a cup that you couldn't see because of your own bullshit. And you're stressed out of your mind about it. And even though you know clear as day what it is now, it might be too late because you still haven't taken action on it. You're sitting in the moon, under the moon, eyes closed. Let me see the star. Can I see the star for Aquarius, please? Page of Cups. This is a new emotional place for you. This is uncharted territory. Do not like being in this position. Emperor. Wow. Well, I may take it all back. Page of Cups to the Emperor to the Chariot. Emperor is the one who drives the chariot, so you found your car. You said, get me the chopper. And yeah, mentally persevering, that's victory. Okay? That's victory, because if we take the 5 and the 6, we have the ace. Okay? And that's what you need, clarity. So you don't go to the 10. You go directly from the 9 to the ace. Now, let me just ride this out for a moment. Knight of Pentacles, King of Swords, he's holding the ace, Hierophant. That's the Venus, the value, the 5, the complication here. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. There's real complexes in your ways in which your words line up with your actions. Okay, and so the King of Swords is here, the Hierophant is here, the King of Pentacles is here, the Four of Cups is still here. So it is a emotional complexity that misaligns your words with your actions. And it's based on a value system, what you believe is going to happen already, or what you don't permit and allow to take shape. You don't give the flexibility. Remember, between the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles is the 4. He's holding on so tight to his 4 Pentacles, he doesn't have space for something new. And all life is here to give you something new if you allow it, if you will it, if you think it. The world is in your hands. Right. Okay, Aquarius. Got some earth in your chart, find it. If you got some fire in your chart, get it. I don't know where the Chariot goes, but I know that the Knight of Pentacles is the grounded earthly energy that seems to be preoccupying your choices and anxiety at this time. 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, the unseen 4 of Pentacles. This is conceivably the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles gets to the harvest. Although it takes him a long time, he's the knight that reaches his goals. So let's just leave him in the center. I love the Knight of Pentacles under the Ace of Cups, because that Ace of Cups, which is the gift of belonging, not only to the self, but to love, and therefore everyone and everything around you. The oneness of life. And I know you know this because you are part of the collective consciousness. But it's challenging. Very, very challenging. Can you show me, please, if there's anything else we need to revisit here or know about July for Aquarius? Thank you. So I knew the Seven of Pentacles was going to show up. That's okay. It's the progress. Progress. Closing the gap between the 6 and the 10 is progress. Okay? Changing that number. I would rather have you face what is actually the loss, mourn the separation so that you can heal yourself and change your frequency with the 5 of Pentacles than stay holding, blocked off, and frozen in the 4. Okay? Anyway, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if this is working for you, if this is your message, you definitely know, because your fear is a real one, and it's about belonging, and it's about being seen. That's the perfection. You don't want people to see your contradictions. You don't want people to see that you're a flawed human. But that's how they love you. You understand? That's the whole point. If someone doesn't have a deep connection with you, then they are right to easily discard you. So you staying on a superficial basis with people who claim to be your friend or you claim to love is actually going to be a point of pain, because you're always going to think that they don't value you because you never let them in. Do you see how that works? Now, I have the Three of Wands that fell like this. You saw it on the Knight of Pentacles. This is a card of what would be the patience and the waiting. It's in reverse. It's don't wait. Get this opportunity, get this piece that you understand. Get in your Uber, get in your car, and go. Whatever it is, how clumsy you feel, how awkward this is, how exhausted you are, how blinded you may be by the sense of justice, by the sword of truth, how kind of embarrassing it could feel like, that you were thinking you were sitting in this King of Cups position, but you actually needed to do so much work in emotional intelligence. You know, there is a sentence that says, it's a quote that says that the biggest blockage um to rising consciousness is if you feel as if there is nothing in the subconscious. If you're certain that you have elevated all that there is to know, um, you don't, again, like the Four of Pentacles, you're not open to the miracle, which is the joy of being alive. Okay, so look here, then the Seven of Pentacles. So from the 6, you begin to understand how you can move in a direction for what you can plant and how you can make progress, sifting through the things that don't work for you anymore, the stale habits, the old thought patterns, the dialogue, the internal conflict, the rage. The rage of not getting what you want. How long have you not gotten what you want? How long have you been making the same kinds of connections with emotionally unavailable people? not aware that it is you who has brought them into your life, into your world, because you have been emotionally unavailable. So here's the King of Cups again. The choice is yours. The pride is also yours. The shadow is also yours. There is a full moon in the end of the month on the 29th in your sign. And I think that it's going to be pretty critical for you. Chariot is the Cancer card, and in astrology, Cancer and the moon go hand in hand. So throughout Cancer season, you will be culminating your mental processes and emotional responses and understanding how to bring it down to earth, to move some pentacles around to free yourself so that you can not wait and move towards whatever it is that maybe this was connected to, or just healing yourself and becoming bold again and back to, the tallest order, the highest expression of you, the grand star, the, the light that just shines. Yeah. I'm gonna get you advice. I haven't been getting advice for the readings that I've been doing today. It wasn't necessary. Everyone was pretty streamlined in their message, and not that this wasn't streamlined, but telling you to not wait to sort through your pentacles doesn't seem like enough, because I know that there's a lot of work here. So just bear with me. Advice for Aquarius. Thank you. The Justice again, which is called the breakthrough in this deck. The breakthrough from what was the Mercury held in Gemini. And look, maybe you have a retrograde Mercury in your natal chart, and Mercury going into retrograde is actually really good for you to find your words and not stumble over them. That's what that message would be. Find a way to voice your ideas, whatever they are. Remember, diplomatic in relationships for a fair deal, methods for the healing power of your ideas for the who and what around you. That is the nature of this entire manifestation as we read what Jupiter in Leo could do for you in July. One more, please. Oh my God, there's the Hierophant. So it's called the void. You have to be able to get clear and say bye to that which is already gone. And that means pieces of you that hold you back. You have to be okay that you've done that. You have to be okay that, you have to recognize that nothing is ever really lost. Ever. And you sitting as Emperor, riding the chariot, consolidates your energy, the dark and the light. Let's see what's at the bottom of this deck. The Three of Cups. That's the universe meeting you halfway. If you can become the authority on your life and get to this place where you heal yourself for your fear of being seen without hesitation, to ground it into a real pentacle that you can offer to someone and make things work on a consistent basis so that you are full of honest, fair reciprocity, the universe will give you the celebration that you're looking for. Okay? So Aquarius, I wonder if I feel like maybe we always have hard talks, and that's not my intention. I don't even have a lot of Aquarius friends. It's not a sign that stays in my orbit. I think I've met like a handful, like maybe in my whole life, 5 Aquarians. So there's no hate here. It's just love. Um, but I'm aware of that. So if this doesn't resonate for whatever reason, I would love the feedback. Let me know. Give me comments and if this is working for you, if there is something here that speaks to you and you're going through a hard lesson and you need support, let me know in the comments, okay? Until the next time that I read for you. Ciao.